So many people ask me in Europe, why do you go for mobility questions to India? I say, well, it's obvious, especially here in Bangalore. When you have on your way from your home to Electronic City or Whitefield, you've got 2 hours time. We've got thousands and thousands of talents sitting in the traffic jam and thinking, how can we recreate the world of mobility? And that's what I'm here. That's why I'm here, because I see so many solutions coming from India, coming from Bangalore, for recreate the world of mobility. So I'm from Grundig Academy. Grundig Academy is your partner as a hub for transformative education. That's on one side, because you need education to understand what's happening. And on the other side, the launchpad for disruptive solutions. So if you have disruptive solutions, you need the market to be educated. On the other hand, to have an educated market, you can get disruptive solutions on the ground. So we were talking about climate change and what's happening there, and we all know transportation is attributing 14%, it's actually rising at the moment, up to 15% to the greenhouse gas emissions in the atmosphere, including methane, by the way, including methane, and CNG is nothing else than methane, just to keep that in mind when we think about sustainable transportation. So the question is there a way how we can really achieve the Paris Agreement in 2050 to reduce or keep our temperature rise to 1.5 degrees? Actually, I doubt that we get there, but there is a pathway to get there. McKinsey says with this study that we have to reduce our greenhouse gas emission by 86% till 2050. 86% reduction of greenhouse gas emission during mobility. And that's a very frightening number when you think of it. How do we achieve that? Of course, we need zero-emission vehicles, that's one part. Second part is we have to have a zero-carbon supply chain, that's the next part. That's a challenging one, by the way. Then we have to look and transition technologies, hybrid cars, that's another one we have to look for. And then we have to, and that's a really bad message, reduce mobility. Okay, that's a crucial point, reducing mobility. Mobility is a part of our freedom. We want to be able to move. So we've got two things here. We've got the reduction story happening, and at the same time we have the freedom of mobility on the other side. And how do we bring these things together? Now, let's check this one. That's how we do it. So, coming back. So, the one is the highway to our office in Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, with all the trucks and pickup trucks sitting on the road. Then we've got Lagos there. We've got sitting devices in parking lots for 23.5 hours per day and blocking this urban space. And we've got huge traffic jams sitting around and, blocking us. The other side is, okay, we should go for public transport. Well, this looks very crazy as well on the public transport side. It's not really delight. So when we look at what's happening in cities, the major pain point in cities is not leisure, it's not work, it's not education. No, it's mobility again. So it's a major pain point we have to solve. And 42% of the people who use public transport want to change this way of transporting themselves. 42%. And on the other side, using your private car, 37% want to change the model. So it's a huge market opportunity behind this. Most of the people who are commuting want to change to something. Now that's where the brains, the talents, the ideas, the startups, the cities can come together and create a real new world of mobility. But the core question is to be delighted or not to be delighted. And these are just a few photos around this area here. One was taken from my hotel room just down to the street. You see, this is Bangalore in traffic. And I was trying to walk to Joe's office. That's what the walkway looked like. So really, we have to do something about it. And we as Kuenne Academy see ourselves as a bridge to bring technology and solutions together and academia. So there's MIT Cityscope. MIT is a very well-known, university, and they've got the Cityscope, and you can plan on the ground with Lego blocks what this community looks like. You can place shops there, you can place universities there, and you can adjust the public transport and the mobility movements into the simulation. But do you really have to go to MIT? No, you don't have to go to MIT because you've got it here. And you just heard Venkat speaking. You've got the first I've ever seen digital traffic twin working on the stage on real-time data. I've seen so many of them. I did my training at MIT. We did it on Kendall Square. Kendall Square is 9 square kilometers, and we did the simulations there. Now you can do it on Bangalore. Just imagine this. Just imagine what kind of asset you're bringing to the world of universities doing traffic planning, traffic simulation. So this is exactly what we're doing. We're taking the ideas from Akadis together with Venkat to universities to educate the people in the world, in the globe, to understand what's happening on traffic management, on real problems. And we were just talking 2 days back with some representative going to be in Wolfsburg. Anyone knows Wolfsburg? Wolfsburg? Have you heard about this city? No? Anyone from the automotive space? That's a center where Volkswagen is sitting. Now, they are talking about to look into the solutions of Venkat, Akadis Group, for traffic simulation. Now take this. This is the opportunities we have here together to bridge the world. And that's what we do as Kuenne Academy together with partners like Venkat. Second one. Now, vice versa. Now, this company is Max Bögl. Max Bögl used to build streets and roads and highways. And the German Autobahns are very well known. And he thought, well, there's something wrong in the system. We have to change. So what he did, and take this for a moment, someone who was building roads, that's his main job, reinvented the Megalev as a transport system, the Max Bögl transportation system, which is running now close to our hometown in Nuremberg, and which is not the supplement, it's not actually replacing the metro, but it's going to be a place where you have a bigger settlement and bringing that to a metro station. That's how we can do it, the Megalev solution. This one here, a good friend of mine, Forrest North, he's working for Telo EV, and Forrest, by the way, has the plate number 50 Tesla. So he was the 50th Tesla employee, and he thought this story with the Cybertrucks is not leading anywhere. We need something totally different. So this is why he came up with the Telo. The Telo is on a size on a Mini Cooper and providing the space of a Tacoma. So we really have to bring new solutions on the ground to rethink what we're doing. Talking about last mile mobility, cable cars. Cable cars is a beautiful solution to have last miles, mobility. Just imagine you're sitting at Siemens in Electronic City, and you're trying to get off your compound to the metro station. Have you been there? You're sitting there, waiting there, seeing all the buses getting stuck in the... and it's even walkable to the metro station, but you can't because there's a street. So why not using cable cars? And here comes a beautiful story. If you take the cable car and put it on a little scooter, basically you have autonomous last mile mobility at the same time. Talking about autonomous mobility. So this is a crazy one, and this is again from MIT. What did they do there? They were rethinking the way of bike sharing, push bikes. Now, most of the push bike sharing solutions across the world failed. Why? Because the people were dumping the bikes where they were. They just dumped them on the street and walked off. Now, the idea of MIT was to rethink that world, and what if the bike comes up to you and picks you up? And after you've finished your ride, you get off the bike, and the bike goes off to the next customer. It works. It works. Of course, you need bike brakes for this, so talking about this one. But anyway, So you can reduce the fleet sizes of these autonomous push bikes by 2/3. Think of the investment there. Talking about autonomous mobility. Now again, a beautiful Indian born and bred story. This is Sanjeev Sharma from Sword Robots. And when you think Tesla is the leading one for autonomous vehicles, no, wrong. If you think it's Waymo, wrong. If you think it's Mobileye, wrong. It's Sword Robots. They achieved on Indian roads, under Indian road conditions, level 4, level 5 autonomous mobility in Bhopal, on the road. I've been in the car in April, and I'm still here. You see the cows coming around, you see the tuk-tuks coming around, you see the drivers of motorbikes, whatever. And who's taking care about traffic rules? Yeah. Okay, so you have to work with the worst situation of autonomous vehicles. And he manages, and he does it. It's on the ground. So please celebrate what you have here in India. You've got leapfrogging technologies, really. Yeah, give them a hand. Give Sword and all the others a hand for this one. Then the other way around. Every trap with a car starts and ends with a parking lot. Where do I put my car? Okay, now, parking lots are all over the place. Everybody's parking wherever. We have to sort that, because otherwise we don't get a walkable city. Now here comes Atomical into play, and Atomical is basically working on the backend protocol. Backend protocol invented where? Bangalore. Okay, they're working in the Netherlands, okay? In the Netherlands, we're introducing backend protocol for parking, and now building a bigger story together with Namayati. You will hear about Sean later on. In-wheel motors, beautiful solution coming out of Slovenia. Now, what if we take the in-wheel motors to our electric vehicles? Very efficient. And this is, by the way, the Aptera, coming from the States. That's the last standing solar-powered car in the world. Take this one. Okay, so we have to build bridges. What if you have an IKEA for EVs? It's there. You build your own car, BY car, or something like this. The lovely, beautiful thing coming out of Sweden, we're taking that at the moment to Tanzania. High voltage training, we were talking about security, safety, and everything. If we move forward to EVs, we really have to rethink how we do the training. Charger, he was going to speak here. It's something about freewheeling and recuperation at the same time. If you're an engineer, you see what challenges behind this. And last but not least, we're working on transportation as well on the big scale. This is a big vessel. And you know, all the container ships are adding a lot of GHG emissions to the atmosphere, the biggest, by the way. And we're working there on post-combustion capture, carbon capture. And by the way, we're doing that with a technology called reticular chemistry. Reticular chemistry allows to change the material to capture. And with this one, with 1 gram of this material, you can have the surface of 1 soccer field. Now you can imagine how much material you can suck into it. This is done by a company called Atoko. And there is one more thing. Atoko, and the founder of Atoko, was winning the Nobel Prize of Chemistry, Professor Yagi. And it's really heartwarming to work together with this team. And by the way, I connected just on Wednesday this team again to for big engine suppliers working together to do post-carbon capture. So let's come together with academia, training, and disruptive solutions and make it happen to shape a green world of green mobility. Thank you very much.